Okay, let's head into work together. And we've got a couple things to do for this one. Our first one is just to take a look at our accounts receivable ledger and make sure that we know where everything is going. So it says Classic Appliances uses an accounts receivable ledger. On the blank ledger page above, locations have been identified with letters. To open a new customer account, indicate the location of each of the following. The customer is Venice Cafe. The account number is 120. And the balance on September 1st of the current year is $390.34. So our balance, which, oops, I should go down here and scroll, see if we can get most of it in here. Our balance is going to go in A, B, C, D, E, F, or G, or H. So the word balance, since that's what we're, good grief. The word balance, which is what we're searching for, it would actually go in the item number D. So we're going to fill D in here. And then we would end up putting 0 or leaving it blank in which of these spots? Well, honestly, it's going to go in 2 places. It's going to be in F and G. So since F is the first one, we're going to put F in here because remember, since this is the balance, there isn't going to be a debit or a credit part of the transaction. September 1st will obviously go in the date, so that would be C. The words Venice Cafe, that's going to be the account title, so that's going to go up in A, or the name on the account, I should say. The check mark is going to go in our post reference column because remember, we are not going to be posting a balance. So we're going to put E in there. The $390.34 is actually the balance in our Venice Cafe account, so that's going to go in the debit balance, or H. So put that in there. The account number 120 is going to go up in the B section. That's going to be where the account number 120 will be located, the top of the account next to the account name. And lastly, our other blank section will be the credit, because remember, neither F or G is going to get filled in when we're just opening an account and putting the balance in there. So G is going to be our last one. So just making sure we know where all the parts are in our accounts receivable ledger. Then I'm going to scroll down here, and it says, using the current year, we're going to journalize the following transactions on page 9 of the sales journal for Classic Appliances. The sales invoice source document is abbreviated as an S. Classic Appliances operates in a state with a 6% sales tax. Remember that there is no need to put the S, though, because sales number is already written in the sales journal. So first off, we're going to start with our date, which is September 2nd. And it says we sold merchandise on account. Remember, that's important. All of these are going to be on account because we only have one journal, which is our sales journal. But remember, eventually you will have all 5 journals, and you'll need to remember that when you sell merchandise on account, it goes in your sales journal. So our account debited is for Lenny Stanford. So we're going to put Lenny in here. Our sales number is 221. And it says that we sold $1,600 worth of merchandise. So the $1,600 is the amount that we made for the sale. So we're going to put $1,600 in here, and then we need to figure out our sales tax rate. So remember, our tax rate is 6%. So you either need to plug in the 6% and use the percent key on your calculator, or you need to take 1,600 times 0.06. When you do that, you're going to get a sales tax amount for this transaction of $96. So that means that the total amount that Lenny Stanford owes us is $1,696. So that's what's going to go in his accounts receivable debit because that's the total amount that he owes for that transaction. Makes sense? Hopefully. All right, let's go down here, and it says on September 6th, we sold merchandise on account to Washington City Schools 680. Washington City Schools is exempt from sales taxes. So we come down here, we just need to put the 6, and we put Washington City Schools 4222 is our sales number. And again, because they're tax exempt, the amount that they make for their sale, which is $680, is going to be the same amount that they owe us for their accounts receivable since there is no sales tax. Then on the 7th, we sell to Venice Cafe. And we sell $2,560 worth of merchandise. So that's what goes in our sales credit again. Again, we need to calculate our sales tax. So we take 2,560 and we multiply that by 0.06 and we get $153.60 for sales tax. The total that Venice Cafe owes us then is their total merchandise plus their sales tax, which is $2,713.60. So just remember, you have to start with your sales, and then I go and figure my sales tax, and then I go back, and that total then goes in my accounts receivable debit. And lastly, on September 15th, we sold again to Washington City Schools. Notice this time that they don't say that they're exempt from sales tax. They're assuming that you recognize that we just sold to Washington City Schools and it's tax exempt. So don't go figuring that on this one. Make sure you read carefully. So we put in Washington City Schools again, 224, and then it's the same amount that 1849 goes in both the accounts receivable debit and the sales credit because they are not charged sales tax, they are tax exempt. So, not too shabby, and like I said, it doesn't seem tough right now. Where it gets tough is remembering that sales journal is only for sales on account. And you'll need to remember that because eventually you'll have a bunch of transactions. You're going to have all 5 journals. You have to remember where things go. It won't be this easy. So go ahead and you can head over and do on your own and your application. And don't forget about your terms and questions as well.